and welcome back to the WCHE Morning Show. You're listening at 95.3 WCHE.com worldwide, 1520 AM and 95.3 on your FM dial. We are at 9:30, and Shy, over to you.
Well, first of all, we have the pleasure of having Rake Yohn in studio, chemist and national reality TV star. Rake, how are you?
Unreality TV star. No, I'm doing good, man. It's awesome to be in town again. I keep forgetting they shut down the streets on the weekend, so have to do a little bit of.
It seems like it's shut down every day.
I do a little bit of pre-gaming after this.
At crisp 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, get Friday started early.
Listen, I don't blame you, but anyways, how are you in general?
Doing good, man. Doing real good. It's been great, kind of getting to see the old gang again. It's been fun hanging out with Chris Rabb doing his podcast, and Bam and everyone doing their thing, and life's been fun. And then the real news is trying to start a kind of a local history program called Grave Hunters here. So it's been great working with Dr. Watson at Immaculata and Joe and the other producers of the show. So that's been going really well, and it's really been fascinating, all the stuff that is around here. Yeah. Because I grew up right down the street from here. Yeah. And I never really paid attention to all the cool stuff that has happened, or the impact that this area has had, kind of on the whole country. So it's really, really cool.
So I do want to start with Grave Hunters. Yeah. I think it's funny because you do it with a Lutheran pastor, you do it with a middle school teacher, you do it with a high school professor, a college professor from Immaculata, and you do it with yourself, who's a character. How did this even come about? Like, how did you guys meet each other? How did this web series start, and where can people find it?
So it's, first of all, the history goes all the way back. So my buddy Joe Cimarelli, we first met at Penn State in the 90s. I've kept in touch throughout the time.
He's a great guy, by the way.
Oh, yeah. No, that guy's great. He's into a little bit of everything. He approached me with, he's like, hey, I hooked up with this professor, and he's really into the Duffy's Cut thing. Now, I'd driven by a lot of these road signs, like the Duffy's Cut thing, Battle of the Clouds, and usually I just drive by them. Yeah. Like, I was joking, my buddy Brandy Kamala, we used to always joke, like, someone had shake, was like, yeah, it's all fake, to get people to pull over on the side of the road and get a Wawa or something like that. But then started talking to this guy and realized how much time and effort they had put in to researching that particular site, because all they had to go off at first were documents that their family had from the Pennsylvania Railroad, the old Pennsylvania Railroad, and oral history from, like, the Irish railway workers. And that's
like sort of the Industrial Revolution era.
Yeah, so it was always, I guess, reported that particular place was haunted. Yeah. And then also there's been a marker there that has been kept up by the kind of Irish rail workers for, I think, over like 100 years, for a long, long time. Wow. So they went, and some of these university professors, they don't have a lot of money. So he went, they investigated the area, investigated with students, one of them, who still is working on the show now, and then discovered more bodies that weren't relocated to the site that's marked now off of the I'd still call it the R5, but the line that goes, between like Thorndale and Philly. So anyhow, when they investigated the site and did the forensic anthropology on, like, the bones, it was patently obvious that these people were murdered. Yeah. And so that was a real revelation in the story, because the official reporting was that there was a bunch of Irish immigrant workers that were camped out, kind of by their work site, and they got cholera and they died of cholera. Well, they didn't. They were murdered. That was a significant finding, and from that, now it's kind of branched out into, like, what else has happened in this area? Like, what are the other stories that people know about or their families know about that just haven't been investigated?
Now, what goes in, because that's got to be extremely difficult, what goes into figuring out whether these guys really died of cholera, or whether they were murdered? Because I was watching the trailer for the web series. You had noted that even finding buttons with like a certain number on it is
an
extremely important find, whether it's as small as a button or as big as like a piece of shrapnel. No matter what you find is important in connecting whatever hypothesis you have.
Yeah, some of these history buffs, and you'll see some of the other guys, appearing on the show as well. They know, like for instance, when we were talking about the Battle of the Clouds, which I think will be the subject of some of the subsequent things that are coming out. They like the guy knew, okay, after the Battle of the Clouds, it started raining, and now that I live near that area, the people walk down the hill from what's now Immaculata down to Sweetsford Road. Mm-hmm. The Americans went down there, but a lot of other people like took the F off and like basically walked down like 162 and hit like Marshallton.
Yeah.
But like they know from the documents and from the stories, and it's funny because a lot of these roads and places are still here. Mm-hmm. So a lot of them probably were like F this noise. Hit the Marshallton Inn. Be like, man, like checking yourself for bullet wounds. It's just fascinating, the kind of stuff that happens around here. Now, it's not easy for the professor. That's why I'm glad to help, and his brother, because as you can imagine, sometimes these academics don't get a whole lot of money. Mm-hmm. Like they've been doing the Duffy's Cut stuff since 2003 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is like basically it's a labor of love for some of this, and now I'm really hoping that with a little bit more eyes on it, and hopefully money. I mean, people can contribute through the Patreon, GoFundMe. Mm-hmm. Just check us out on Instagram. There's a number of ways to contribute. But now things are happening a lot faster, and I'm hoping we can accelerate that pace. Once the show gets picked up.
So for those who don't know, what is the Battle of the Clouds?
Oh man! So now these guys are going to kill me. But you're getting the Rake version of
That's fine with us, because it's probably more simpler for me to understand and Eric to understand. I have like a few things written down, but that's it.
Yeah, so sometime after sometime after the Battle of the Brandywine, so the British were here. There's a sizable contingent of American troops here as well. Mm-hmm. And I guess, it was time to get down to business. So they, everyone decided to square up off of what's now King Road. The way it was described to me is, if you know the area, the British were basically kind of encamped in what's now the Villa Maria Academy that's across from Immaculata. The American troops were at Immaculata.
Yeah.
And it's fixed bayonets. It's time to get busy.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening is, I guess the battle had begun, and then it just started to freaking pour, like one of those I guess late summer downpours, and it's kind of hard to kill each other if all you got is black powder and it's raining. It's raining cats and dogs. So, I mean, everyone, the way it's been described to me is that it's one of the only battles of the major battles of the American Revolution where there's no winner. Everyone just walked away.
That's crazy.
And if that hadn't have happened and the Americans, let's say, would have lost, there's a chance that we might not even be the United States.
Yeah, I was listening to the thing. It was you lose Philadelphia, you lose.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what would have happened?
Who knows?
Yeah,
who knows? But
the other thing that's crazy too is I was just looking, like Malvern wasn't even there, so it's still, I guess, like kind of territory like West Whiteland. I don't know what the hell they called it, but the way the professor describes it, there's probably only like 500 people living there.
Yeah,
and if you look up the stuff online, I think there's between 10 and 20,000 troops.
I was just about to say, it was a lot of people. It wasn't just like a small battle. This was like
imagine if you're chilling on your family farm or whatever, you're going out to milk the cow or what, and all of a sudden you see like thousands of dudes like coming down the road.
Crazy.
And it's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I mean,
which is
we
also
staged a
weird.
battle at Bam's house with 100 people, and that was nuts enough.
But it's weird because at any given moment back then, people could just show up. Thousands upon thousands could show up on your property and just start killing each other.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. If I was going to join an army like that, I'd make sure they got are they going to have enough beer for all of us when we get there? So you got to worry about the logistics like that.
Yeah.
But, that's a lot of people in an
Where's
area.
Where's the post game at? What are we doing?
Yeah.
What's going to happen after this?
Yeah, so hopefully we can describe, history and then, maybe give it maybe make it a little less boring than the film strips I used to watch, when I was at East.
But it's so weird because, metaphorically speaking, everybody's like, there's no winners in war. There's no winners after a battle. There was no winner. Like,
Yeah.
They just walked away, which I think is the most insane part about this whole thing.
Another really, really cool thing, and I got to give a shout out to the leadership at Immaculata.
Mm-hmm.
It's also been described to me that the land that Immaculata is on, because of what happened there with the Battle of the Clouds, it's very rare for, let's say, there to be a major battlefield in the United States of America that's privately owned. Because a lot of the other ones are now either national parks or what have you. So the university is letting Dr. Watson and us dig, where we have evidence to look for artifacts of the Battle of the Clouds.
Yeah.
So that's been cool. They've been finding some stuff, and there's some other stuff around here too. But archaeology is hard work. There's the book work first, but then there's a lot of earth to move. You're just not going to get a freaking bulldozer. You got a lot of it's got to be done by hand. So it's
so what? I mean, how long does an excavation take usually, just for one day, just to find something?
These dudes have been working on some of this stuff for 20 years.
Yeah, I mean,
there's still stuff that they think that they know where it is, but they just don't. They haven't had the resources to go and investigate it.
Yeah.
So now hopefully we can do that. Document it, make it fun to watch, and then maybe people will learn something at the same time.
Now, obviously, we want people to watch the show. Where can we find it?
Oh, right now it's on. There's snippets on Instagram. There's a YouTube channel, I think, that has more of the long form stuff.
Okay.
But knock on wood, the plans are in the works to make it more publicly available.
Yeah, like on a streaming service or something like that.
And hopefully, who knows? Hopefully maybe more than that. But yeah, I've worked on developing a TV show and trying to get stuff out there. It's a process.
Yeah. So you're the guy for it out of the four of you guys. So
yeah, I mean, I
know how this stuff works.
Hell, when I got out of Penn State, they wanted to film like Army skit with sticks behind East. I didn't think anyone was going to. I didn't even know what I was doing. You know. Next thing you know, it's you're getting a multiple digit rating on MTV. You know, like you're getting a nationally televised show. So you'd be surprised. Anything can happen.
Now, what's the coolest thing you guys have found so far?
When I was with them, things that may have been, from, let's say, soldiers that were wounded at the Battle of the Clouds.
Yeah.
Or it's kind of weird when you think you might be holding a part of a person. So that's a bit.
That would freak me out.
It's a bit unnerving.
Yeah.
But luckily, they know how to do this properly. They know how to excavate the site properly. They have the right people on hand if they think they're going to find human remains, especially if it may be victims of some sort of violence. So but I guess you never know what you're going to find.
You have no idea, but I guess that's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
that's the whole point of the show,
and really learning the history of the area, because these are places that we drive by all the time if you live around here.
Now, have you been to Gettysburg? I've yet to go there. Excuse me.
I've been to Gettysburg. The first time I went to Gettysburg, one night we're just chilling, and like I said, some of this wasn't easy, trying to hold down a full-time job at the same time. But Bam's like, let's go look for ghosts. I'm like, okay, whatever. Let's go look. Let's go find ghosts. I forget what night it was. And he's like, oh, we're going to go to Gettysburg. And I was like, oh, like I've been by there before. Not realizing it's like midnight when we leave. And Gettysburg isn't it's not like going to Downingtown. So I was like, oh, this seemed a lot closer the last time I was on the turnpike. But we get to Gettysburg. It's the middle of the night. We're not even supposed to be there. And then we're just looking for ghosts.
Now, was this with a camera crew and stuff? Or was this just
no, it was with Bam.
Yourselves?
Bam had a camera.
Yeah.
But I was like, what the F are we doing? And Gettysburg is not nearly as cool looking in the pitch black.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah, it's just nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing. So evidently, I don't know if we found any ghosts, and luckily no one found us either. So.
Yeah.
But it's the battle of the Brandywine battlefields are all around here too. So
yeah. So I'm not from here. I'm from South Jersey.
Oh,
so,
okay.
I'm still familiarizing myself. I've been at Westchester for 3 years.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just familiarizing myself with the area. Eric's a Pennsylvania.
We've been to Gettysburg before. Yeah. The last time we were there, it was like a ghost. You would track spirit activity.
Yeah, with the is it a Geiger meter? I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. And that was cool. Stuff like that. I've done some of the ghost tours, and so hearing you talk about that kind of brought me back a little bit.
Yeah.
But even around here, they call it the Paoli Massacre. But there's all kinds of craziness happening around here. I think it's all related to the Battle of the Brandywine when the British came came from I guess Elks Neck, Maryland, and then kind of did like a sneak around to try and get George Washington.
Yeah. So to pivot from history, not many people know you're a chemist as well.
Yeah. So and that's another interesting part of the show. I mean, not to spin everything back to the show, but the DNA testing, forensic chemistry, all that stuff. It's not cheap. So trying to get that resource donated or having people be able to contribute to that at this stage of what we're doing is pretty important.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, what led you to even want to be a chemist?
It's one of those things. So, my father was a synthetic organic chemist and then specialized in NMR spectroscopy. So that I was around it when I was growing up. And then I, went to East. I realized, like, I sucked at other stuff, but, like, chemistry came to me pretty easily. And so then I just studied it at Penn State. It was crazy. At main campus Penn State at that time in the 90s, there was only 30 chem majors.
Really?
Out of like tens of thousands of students.
Like that blows my mind because now you have, I mean, my buddy's a chem major at Rutgers. There's thousands of them.
Yeah.
Thousands of them. At any given campus, essentially. So, I mean, was there like a boom? Was there a chemistry bubble boom?
So at the time, if you wanted to make new medicines, they were all pretty much being made the traditional way. Like, you would discover some kind of new, what they call small molecule. Let's say something with molecular weights 500 or less or something like that. And build these new chemical structures. And then you have a hypothesis, test it, do certain testing on it. And then if you're lucky, you make the next, cure to cancer or what have you. But that whole discovery process is hard, and it takes a lot of training and a lot of book learning to not blow yourself up or anybody else. So, but yeah, the developing new medicines is really a passion. Now there's different ways to make them. They're made, the biologics are made, using different cell constructs and then, kind of altering their DNA to make a humanized, let's say, antibody that you can then infuse into people, and those are very targeted.
Yeah.
And then the latest ones are kind of what they call the antibody drug conjugates that we worked on, which are, let's say, a very potent small molecule, like let's say that they use to kill cancer, but it'll also kill your other cells. But if you attach it to an antibody, then you can hopefully target that to exactly where you want that very poisonous molecule to go.
Okay.
And then other variations kind of on that theme.
So I saw a thing where they found, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know the correct terminology, but they found stuff in, I think it was like lizard or salamander saliva that helps with cancer.
Yeah. So
that kills cancer cells. How do chemists even figure that out? Like, how do they connect the saliva of a lizard to killing cancer?
That's interesting. So I guess depending on, kind of what you're, why you were messing around with a salamander or lizard's mouth in the first place.
Yeah.
There's probably a reason that they were in there.
Uh-huh.
But then once you separate some of these compounds out, and then you can test them either on different, let's say, biological fragments and see if you get some sort of binding or some sort of reaction, or maybe test them on some other kind of host species and see what the effect is. I don't know the origin of these different, I think are GLP-1s, all the stuff that, people are losing weight with.
Yeah.
But I know, a long time ago, I worked on something. They said it came from, a Gila, a Komodo dragon or, Gila monster saliva. But it changes the way that you metabolize sugars and stuff like that.
Okay.
But, in case of the one I worked on, it worked too good.
That's crazy stuff to me.
You just waste away if you kept taking it, so we couldn't
it just blows my mind that they're able to figure this stuff out, connect one random thing to another, like cancer.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
it's an
insane.
effort, and it's not cheap. And
no,
but the advances in analytical chemistry and analytical biochemistry are also making it possible to learn more about history, and so that's part of the fun connection.
Now, you went to Penn State, you mentioned.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the recent news coming out of Penn State?
I was like, it's so ridiculous.
Are you shocked?
I'm not pleased.
Yeah.
But if people think something like that's not going on at Temple, it's going
on everywhere.
Like that, yeah.
It's going on everywhere.
I think the reason that it blew up so much was just the way some of the people look.
Oh yeah.
And then also the it's one of those things that probably seemed like a good idea at the time. But like, in retrospect, it probably wasn't a good career-defining move for some of those guys.
I mean, I saw they only walked away with like $100K split between like 12 people. What is that? That's that's less than 10 grand each. What's even the point of doing something like this?
And I guarantee you, some of them, they would have just asked their mom or dad. They probably would have given them that.
Oh yeah, I mean, they go to Penn State. Yeah. They go to Penn State, and one guy was from Merrick, Long Island.
Yeah, they say a lot of some of the frat guys. Their parents ain't broke. So But yeah, like when I saw that, I was like, I think it's just more funny because of the way the people look.
I mean, they just can't. That college can't seem to stay out of the news every year.
No, it drives me crazy. Yeah. I think people wouldn't pick on us, but that's okay.
I mean, I've been up there. It's a great time. I've been up there the last 2 years for St. Patrick's Day. It's an unbelievable time. Could I go to school there and pass? No, I probably wouldn't.
I'm going to say somehow I survived.
But you're a smart guy. You're a chemist.
Yeah. wasn't all that smart. Dude. Try not to find anyone I was friends with. Don't ask don't ask too deep. But maybe that's what kind of led to working on all the CKY movies.
Yeah. Well, I did want to get to that because speaking of craziness, you were on the craziest show maybe of all time and appeared in the craziest movies of all time, Jackass and CKY. I mean, I guess briefly tell us how this even started.
Came home, Thanksgiving, Penn State. Brother had a party at the house. Woke up hungover as all get out. My buddy Brandon, these guys show up and they say, okay, let's go. Let's film something. And I say, okay, let's go film something. So the next thing you know, I'm wearing a hunting suit that's too small. It's giving me like a freaking man camel toe. I got a stick in my hand and they're like, okay, pretend like you're in Vietnam. I was like, what? Like, what is going on? You know? So once, I guess, I started to sober up the next day around noon, I realized that, like, what the hell did I just do? But that's when I quickly realized that there's a thing called editing in filmmaking. The other funny part was that when that happened, that was right when, like, handheld camcorders and things like that were a bit higher quality were starting to become more affordable for the average person. Like, you didn't need like a whole television crew to produce something that was that looked good. So they put together a movie, and Bam wanted stuff for his skateboarding video. People like the skits, and then next thing you know, I'm on AOL chat or something or whatever it was at the time, and people are like, "Boy, found you! Like, I love that movie." I was like, "Found what?" I was like, people are watching that? So, like, I just thought they were going to sell it in the local skate stores. But, yeah, it got popular, and then Knoxville needed footage for their Jackass pilot, and so they linked up with Bam, and that was that.
So how was handling local and national fame? I mean, it came out of nowhere.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
Could be a lot better at times. But, yeah, like, there's a lot that goes on in the film and TV industry that I think people don't talk about.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people fronting that they're making a lot more money than they're making. But like Steve Elvin, some of these guys taught me a lot of ways, ways to supplement your income, and not necessarily Penn State frat style.
Yeah.
Other ways to try and make it count. Like use your TV time to your advantage. Now podcasting's a big thing.
Huge. Everyone and their mom has one.
It is crazy. And then I'm even addicted to listening to some of the stuff now.
Yeah, I mean, I have one. Eric has one.
So it's
my grandmother has one.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
No, but it's crazy and now my kids. This is a funny part. So my kids never were really like they kind of knew about some of the stuff, but they're like, it's their dad. They're like, whatever. Yeah. It wasn't until these guys, the Dern brothers, who do a lot of skateboarding stuff. Check them out on YouTube. They wanted to do an interview as part of their stuff they're doing about Bam's house. They came over, interviewed me, and my oldest son, Teddy's kind of like, who are those guys? Kind of crazy looking. And then next thing you know, it's on YouTube, and it's this big popular thing on YouTube. That's when they thought it was cool. If I would have been like, Grave Hunters is on NBC, they'd probably be like, what's that? It wasn't until something was like on YouTube that they're like, whoa. Oh my God, you're on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, yeah, well, I mean, anyone can
be on YouTube.
People might not give a crap, but like, anyone can be on YouTube. So, Yeah, but now that's a big thing. So maybe one day I'll actually learn how to make some money from it, but we'll see.
Well, listen, if you need help,
you
reach out. You know the Dern brothers, so
yeah. No, those guys are great.
Yeah.
So so the Dern brothers and all that stuff, and I think that's really been motivating now. I mean, like Bam skating and stuff again. Like we're doing like fun stuff at his house. So that's been a lot of fun.
I noticed since the Jackass movie, the new one came out, there's been a resurgence of Bam doing his own thing, which is what the fans they love to see, especially after the last few years of what was going on. Bam, in and out of rehab.
People are doing Instagram posts scrutinizing the CKY movies,
which is ridiculous.
Where the F was this when I needed it?
Yeah.
Where the F was this when I was like 20-something, you know what I mean, tearing it up, here on Gay Street. Now I'm 50 years old and everyone's like, oh my God, you're so cool. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Hold on, let me drive my kids to school. And
It's like I can't fling myself off a roof now.
Yeah. No, I can't. I'd love to play beer pong with you, in front of your frat, by Westchester University. But, I got
kids.
I got a meeting at 8:30.
Yeah. So, I'm just going to ask flat, what's the craziest FCC, regulated story that you can tell?
First of all, I'll put it this way. So out of everything that everyone saw, there was probably 3 things that they didn't. So it takes a lot of time to film that stuff. But the Rake Punzel thing, when they basically tied like a big giant extension to my head, and then they're like, we're going to climb down it. I was like, I don't think it's going to work. Like to have somebody hanging off of your hair. But then they just did it.
Yeah.
So that was pretty wild.
That's insane to me. I mean, one of my favorites is, and it's a short clip. It's Brandon DiCamillo asking. I don't know why it's so funny, but he's just a hilarious guy.
He's
just asking you, how does gasoline work in a car? Yeah. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but I don't know if it's his facial expressions, his mannerisms, and then you explaining it.
Yeah, and then maybe, so think about that. Maybe if I can bring some of that to this new Grave Hunter show, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
It's talking about like a forensic chemistry, it's probably not going to get you laid at, at Jitters anytime soon. But maybe somehow I could turn that around for somebody.
Yeah.
So that, they can talk about that at Jitters. And,
maybe it'll turn some, I don't know, who knows.
Try and go home with somebody.
Yeah. But, we were on the topic of Bam, and with the 5 minutes we have left, many people know that, Bam sort of went on a spiral after the death of Ryan. And,
that sucked. Yeah.
It was bad. It was really bad to watch, and we're very thankful as a community, as a fan base, to see him healthy, skating, happy again.
Yeah, it's awesome.
If you don't mind me asking, I asked April this, where were you when you found out about the death of Ryan?
So it's one of those things like you'll never forget about. It's like 9/11. You know what I mean? So I was at my desk in my little cubicle, and then someone I work with came over, and they were like, because we had a really good relationship, and I mean, I don't think it really ended. I just haven't seen him in a while with Preston and Steve, like Preston and Steve show.
Yeah.
So evidently they had said something or announced something. Well, I was on the way into work, but I didn't have them tuned in, and I got to work, and everyone's like, "I'm sorry to hear about your friend." And I'm thinking, "Oh, what do Bam and these guys do now?"
Yeah.
And they're like Ryan, he's gone. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Where'd he go?" I was like, "What is he in in Japan or something?"
Yeah.
With Steve, they're like, "No, he's gone." It's right down the road from where I grew up. So that was a bad day. But yeah, I mean, they really paid tribute to him in this latest Jackass movie. So that was nice to see, and it was nice for my kids to see too.
Yeah. Did you like the new Jackass movie?
I mean, I thought it was good. It was parts of it I thought were really good.
Yeah.
The what was my favorite bit? The high jump.
Oh yeah.
So I saw people every morning try to create that high jump skit. Before I go to work.
Yeah.
Gets my blood moving. I thought it was pretty well done.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I mean, listen, I'm a big Jackass fan, obviously. But if I were to rank it, it'd obviously be the last movie in my rankings, but it doesn't mean it's a bad one.
No.
And for these guys to be this age, to do what they're doing.
It's tough to try and keep up it's kind of like the Rockies, you know what I mean? At some point, you're gonna
just gotta call it quits.
They used to joke about, I think with Jackass 3, I think it was Preston or Rick Cossack or someone said they were gonna call it Jackass 3. We needed the money. Yeah, no, I thought it was good, and they had reached out to me too about potentially using some of the stuff. I know it was hard for them to figure out what older kind of skits to put in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, even with the whole scenario going on, I want to say, what was it, 4 years ago with Bam? Did you ever see Bam at any point during the conversation with his brother or stuff like that?
Yeah. But every time, I don't know, right? Like, I'm not a big freak out conflict kind of dude. Yeah. So every time I was around, I mean, I'd try and, be as positive and upbeat as I could be. But then, I mean, I got a brother. It's not like me and my brother never got into it. So,
exactly.
One thing leads to another, and then, it is what it is. But I'll just put it this way. It's a lot more fun now than it was then.
He's happy. He's healthy again. He's skating. And the best thing that I got from it was, you can't force someone to do it a certain way. They just got to do it themselves.
Yeah, some people got to do it.
Yeah,
do it.
Which is what April was saying. You just got to let him do it his way. You can't force him to do the whole the classic AA thing. Go to meetings every week. Sometimes it doesn't work.
But I mean, watching dude now. I mean, he's skating around, running around. I don't even think I could walk behind him and keep up. So good for him. And then look forward to when he comes back in town. It's always fun to hang out again.
Well, I've got one last question for you with the minute that we have left. The mustard thing.
Oh.
What caused that?
I was just always saying
the hatred for mustard.
It's the isocyanates and the acetic acid mixed together. It's just not I was never a fan of it. But I think because I always hated it, and my brother used to try and torture me with it when I was younger.
Yeah.
So then that was maybe a little bit of a chemistry phobia, a little bit of PTSD mixed together. But then now, once people kind of caught on to that, then it was on.
Is it this? Is it the smell?
Yeah, I don't even want to think about it. It's disgusting. But all I know is when they did that mustard skit to me, and then freaking
when they squirted in your face
for that Jackass thing. My buddy Rick Kosick. That was the first time anyone ever filmed me naked. So when I was in the shower washing off, that's how I realized those guys were no joke.
It's in my eyes.
They actually moved the curtain back and they keep filming. I was like, what kind of movie are we making here?
Hey man, listen, we loved having you in the studio today.
Yeah, stay in touch.
What's planned for the rest of the day?
The rest of the day, the town's blocked off. I can do whatever the hell I want. So
there you go.
There we go.
So maybe we'll see you out on the town later.
Yeah, maybe a little chemistry, maybe a little Jake's. We'll see how it goes.
All right, Rick, or not? Rick. I'm so sorry. 95.3 WCHE, thank you so much for coming in today, and we look forward to maybe having you back in the future.
Anytime, guys.
When Grave Hunters is on national television.
Hell yeah. Take care.
Yep.